Hey guys, so I know it hasn't happened yet and I'm quite bummed out about it too, but there is some recent information that has just come out that may make you feel a little bit better about everything. Now, ever since the media test drive that happened earlier this week, we were all anticipating that the announcement and the release of the new Model 3 Ludicrous was going to happen shortly after. We aren't completely sure what the holdup really is, but my best guess is that they are waiting for the reviews to be finished and for preparation of everything before the announcement happens. This would make a lot of sense as it takes a few days for test drives to be completed and then reviews to finally happen with photos and videos being taken right before they start publishing all the information. Lots are really happening in the background that we're not aware of, and I believe that Tesla is giving journalists a little bit of extra time for them to prepare and for them to publish their thoughts before the vehicle finally gets unveiled. Now, in terms of the embargo timeline, we're not sure if this is even the case, but it makes a lot of sense as of right now for Tesla to allow every journalist and every media group to release the reviews at the exact same time so no one is ahead of anyone else. But being that it is Saturday now and we haven't heard a peep from the Tesla team, this could mean that it will be dragged on to next weekend or even next weekend where it hits that magical number 420 that we know Elon has come to love. But all jokes aside, I will be keeping an eye on every little thing as it comes up, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and follow me on X or Twitter at HeyJohnE. Over there I will keep you guys as updated as anything happens, so do it right now before you guys miss out on some important details. So now, pushing all that aside, and as we continue to wait, let's talk about some of the recent discoveries that we have just heard come out from the European report. According to that specific report pertaining to the Model 3 Ludicrous, there is going to be some additional hidden things right underneath the skin that we are not aware of. First off, this car is going to be about 4,100 pounds, and that is going to make it the most heaviest Model 3 in its lineup yet, although not that much heavier than the previous Model 3 Performance, but still being the heaviest. Realistically, this is not a bad thing, and I do believe that this has a lot to do with the insulation that Tesla has put into this vehicle. A lot of material has been put in place to make sure that all the outside noise is kept outside and the inside is as quiet as it can be. Then within this report, we have also gotten information about the batteries. These are going to be these nickel packs that are coming out of Fremont, making it a locally sourced cell. That means that we may still be qualifying for the federal tax incentive if everything checks off. Now this pack here, with all the cells combined, we are getting a total of 79 kilowatt hour. It's going to be built in Fremont for North America, and for European and the Asian market, it's going to be built at Giga Shanghai. These are going to be the exact same packs, so you don't have to worry about the performance being better on one or the other. Now, in terms of range, we are getting an EPA rated mileage of 301 miles on a full charge and equivalent to 565 kilometers in the European side. So this still falls within the same range as we are familiar with the long range versus the performance models before. Then we have something quite different, exactly what we were hoping for all along, although it was not ever confirmed. This is going to be the dual motor configuration for this Ludicrous model. The motors are going to be 3D 3A and 4D 2A. These are the code names for the output and the peak performance of these motors. To keep things simple, the peak power for the front motors are going to be at 90 kilometers per hour, whereas the rear is going to be 110. That is substantially better than what we had previously with the Model 3 Performance, and this means that you'll be able to accelerate all the way to top speed without it losing any of the torque. I honestly cannot wait to see a side-by-side comparison with the OG Model 3 Performance versus the Model 3 Ludicrous. This is going to be night and day in terms of where it's going to do in quarter miles and anything more than that. Now, even more interesting, and from what we've just recently learned, there is going to be two separate wheel options for this Model 3 Ludicrous, and this is not going to be the Uber turbines that we have talked about in the previous video. If you want to check that out, there is a third option now that Tesla is planning to work on, maybe giving us back the new Uber turbines or the upgraded Uber turbines that we've seen previously and we've grown to love. That video, I'll drop it in the description below and a pop-up banner up top there, but these Uber turbine wheel wheels are the ones that I really love, and they look fantastic every single time I see them on the roads. So anyways, getting back to the two wheel options that we have now, these are going to be the 20-inch warp wheels, which we have been talking about for the past couple of weeks, and they've started to grow on me. I started to really like them now, seeing them on some of the new Ludicrous models. These right here are going to be coming with 235s and 275s, whereas the secondary 19-inch wheel that is coming along very soon, that is going to be coming at 235s and 265s. We're not sure which one is going to be coming standard with the car, but I do think now that the 19-inch are going to be the ones, and then you can have an upgrade over to the 20 inches. Now, a few other things here worth mentioning within the report is that we have finally gotten confirmation of the active suspensions. This means that you'll now have the damper settings within the UI, which we have also seen in previous leaks. If you guys want to check that out, you know where to go. But there is going to be settings now. If you want comfort, you will have comfort, and if you want stiffness, you will have stiffness. And now on the charging front, we now have fast charging at 312 kilowatts. This is going to be a little bit faster than what we have now, but hopefully with the introduction of the V4 stations, it is going to be mind-blowingly fast. Now, another part of this charging upgrade with the Model 3 is that they are going to be using bush bars. I'm not completely sure what that means, but hopefully it just improves the charging curve overall, and it's just gonna make the experience so much better. If you guys know exactly what that is, let me know in the comments below, because this is something completely new to me and I have never heard of it before. So with all of that added together, from the battery to the suspensions to the tires and wheels, we now have an upgraded top speed of 162 miles per hour. Now, of course, this isn't upgraded from the Model 3 Performance because they're practically the same, but it is upgraded from the base Model 3 and the long range, which have been limited due to the newer tire choices. If you guys didn't know, they decided to remove one of the metal bands from within the tire to lighten up the entire load, as well as reduce noise from the outside movements. So although this makes a lot of sense for the base model and the long range, the Performance definitely needs a little bit of extra kick. So we are brought back up to 162 miles per hour, and honestly, this is more than enough for any track person out there, and definitely more than enough for any average Joe. And as I've mentioned in previous video, there is going to be some kind of acceleration boost option. This is likely going to be the Ludicrous Plus that's going to be available within the UI, within a purchase option. Once that is available, we are probably going to get an even higher top speed if you do opt for the track package and everything that comes along with it. So yeah, there you have it. Even though we haven't gotten an official confirmation or announcement just yet, it's really good to know that there is some kind of additional details that we are getting right before the launch happens. Now, although things seem a little bit gloomy at the moment for those of you that are really anticipating this car, just hold out a little bit, and I don't think it's going to be pushed until next week or next week. Realistically, it's probably going to be just the next couple of days. It might just be a surprise launch, we never know. So I'll keep you guys as updated as possible on every little thing that comes up, especially on this Model 3 Ludicrous. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification if you haven't already done so. This should be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.